And a good afternoon to you from Joplin, Missouri. Day 3 of the 2020 ACCA National Basketball Tournament continues on. We are on to the semifinals, and we start with the ladies. It's the 3-2 matchup, the 3-seed Barclay Bears at 12-10, taking on the 2-seed champion Christian Tigers at 18-8. Hi again, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you. Let's meet the starting lineups from both of these teams real quick for Barclay and head coach Marcus Mitchell. Just one change from yesterday's game. It'll be number 4, Shea Fusilier, number 12, Summer Melton, number 20, Maury Scales, number 25, Sarah Easterwood gets the start today, alongside number 23, Jamia Jackson. Starting today for D'Anthony Ellison and Champion Christian from Hot Springs, Arkansas is number 2, Nate Manning, number 5, Janiyah Gilliam, number 10, Geraldine Hardy, number 11, Destiny Gonzalez, and number 12 is Lucy Parsons. Champion in the white, and Barclay is in the red. Barclay, the Bears, coming off a 84-65 win over FLBC in the quarterfinals, yesterday morning. Good game for Barclay. Let's see, they had 5 players in double figures in that game. As we're underway with the Bears controlling the opening tip. First meeting between these two schools. This is the first year in program history for the number 2 seed Champion Christian. Very first year, very successful year with 18 wins, 10 games above 500, as the first three-pointer from Jackson is no good. Jackson had a good day yesterday, 14 points to lead her team in scoring. Barclay yesterday shot 41% from the field in that victory over FLBC. Top of the key, it's Manning. Nate Manning for 3, can't get it to go. Because it's a first-year program, D'Anthony Ellison taking over and using the JUCO route to recruit some players. Nate Manning, Destiny Gonzalez, who is the top leading scorer in the ACCA. Nate Manning is 8th in the ACCA, both JUCO products. I've been calling junior college basketball games for about 4 years now, and man, there is some talent on both the men's and women's side down there at the JUCO ranks, and D'Anthony Ellison recognizing getting some veteran leadership in this first-year program. They get a steal here. That's Gilliam with the steal. Top defensive team in the ACCA is Champion. In points per game allowed, just 57 a game. Also an opponent's field goal percentage and three-point shooting. Trying to get going on the offensive end, they do, as Parsons connects just inside the arc. Lucy Parsons, 38% shooter, 11.4 points per ball game. She's the third leading scorer on the team after the aforementioned Gonzalez and Manning. Turnover there. So Barclay gives it back up. So we had a few glitches yesterday that I believe I have solved. If you guys are at home and you see any light little buffering or freezing of the screen, like for a half of a second, use the YouTube chat and just let me know. But I think we should be okay today. Offensive rebound by Gonzalez off the miss from Manning. Nate Manning, extra pass to Gilliam. And her shot goes in and out. Tries it again, airballs it. Parsons comes out, and she is fouled. 2 minutes in, our first foul of the game. Barclay Bears, yesterday's game, I mentioned 5 players in double figures, led by Jackson's 14. Summer Melton had 13, 11 apiece for Gloud and Giles, and 10 for Fusilier. Maury Scales had 9 and 9. There's Destiny Gonzalez. Arizona Western is where she played. In 2017-18, she averaged 11 points, 5.8 rebounds per game. Gonzalez continuing her collegiate career here for Champion. Easterwood can't get it to go. The rebound controlled by Gonzalez. Gonzalez also the leading rebounder in the ACCA at 12.2 per game. So averaging a double-double on the year. Destiny Gonzalez, the junior from Las Vegas, Nevada. 3 ball off the mark from Parsons. Barclay trying to get on the board, and Scales is fouled. First foul on Champion. Manning picking up the foul. Nate Manning will be active defensively, leads the ACCA in steals at 81. So Barclay with 25 on the shot clock. Again, trying to get on the board. Just about 3 minutes in. Fusilier, attack, stripped. Manning in transition. Bounce pass goes to Gonzalez, who couldn't get the layup. Some shots not falling right now for either side, but it is the Tigers who have a 4-point advantage. Scales on the near side, Easterwood in the corner to the cutter, Melton. Back out to Scales. Shot clock about halfway through at 14. Scales driving. Throws it up too strong off the glass. Rebound by Gonzalez, and here comes Champion. This is a Champion team that gave Arlington a game in the early part of the season. Parsons leaves it for Hardy. Bounces up, bounces in. 6-0 Champion. And Marcus Mitchell, my new Twitter buddy, wants to talk about it. Timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Congratulations to all of the scholar athletes in the ACCA this year. Chris Sheeman back here with you. 6-0 in favor of Champion. Barclay out of the timeout. That's it to Easterwood in the corner. Hands it off to Jackson, but first a travel. So another turnover for the Bears. Can't do that against the top defensive team in the ACCA and Champion. Into the forecourt quickly is Gilliam. Blocked but fouled, and she'll go to the line. Janiyah, freshman from Tyler, Texas, is just a 32% free throw shooter. 7th in the ACCA in assists per game at 3.2. Extending the lead out to 7 with the chance for 8. Mentioned their defense. Offensively, Champion, they can crash the glass. 13.5 offensive rebounds per game. That's 3rd behind Arlington and Kansas in the ACCA. Kansas not here, but Arlington is. Scales top of the key. Fusilier attacks, blocked, and that's going to go off Champion. It's a Champion team that averages 2.3 blocks per game. Barclay's good interior defense as well, 2.7 per game. They're 2nd in the ACCA. Destiny Gonzalez has 29 on the season, and now an offensive foul called on the Bears. So nothing going right offensively for Barclay, and this is what Champion will do to you. They will frustrate you. Catch and shoot. Manning can't get the 3 to go. Jump ball called. Possession arrow will keep it with the Tigers. Inbound goes to Gonzalez in the corner. Manning. Here's Parsons back to her. Now Gonzalez. Gonzalez triple teamed. Manning with 8 on the shot clock. Over to Parsons for 3. Rainbow shot no good. Ball deflected out. Diving for it, Easterwood. There's going to be another jump ball, and the Bears will get it back. Barclay from Haviland, Kansas, the number 3 seed, defeating Free Lutheran yesterday. Champion from Hot Springs, Arkansas, their first game, earning the quarterfinal bye. Sub in, Johnson Anderson. Her bounce pass is taken away. Active defensively was Parsons, who had 22 steals during the regular season. Running and gunning champion. That is Hardy counted in the foul. Geraldine Hardy goes to the line. Chance for an old school 3-point play. Nay Manning. 8.3 assists per ball game. Getting a dime there. Hardy couldn't get it to go, but Champion looking good here in this opening quarter, just past the midway point of quarter number 1, and it's 10-zip. King, Anderson out to Jackson. Fuselaire in the corner, Melton over the head of King and out of bounds. Nothing going offensively right now for the Bears, and Champion will try to extend their lead here. The 2 JUCO transfers that I mentioned average a combined 38.2 points per ball game. So a little over half of Champion scoring coming from some veteran leadership. Parsons drives in, stripped. Good defense there by the Bears. Got to get something going on the other end of the court, though. Jackson into the forecourt. Fuselaire on the left, back to her. Jackson catch and shoot 3, yes. So the monkey off the back for Barclay on the offensive end, trailing now by 7 with 4 minutes to go in quarter number 1. Nay Manning surveys, directing traffic, throws it near side to Parsons. Top of the key, it's Hardy. Cut off at the free throw line. Parsons, same spot. Shot clock down to 4. Manning's got to create the step back off the back iron. Rebound controlled by Anderson. First of 5 games today for you here at Ozark. Couple of games over at Crowder College on the men's side, and then another bad pass there for the Bears. More subs coming in. Number 5 is Maya Giles for Barclay. Parsons catch and shoot 3 off the back of the rim. Long rebound comes out to Manning. Manning looking underneath for Takira Fuller, who just checked in, and Fuller commits the foul. Fuller off the bench averages 13 points per ball game. So she would be third. I had Parsons as third in scoring. So four players for the Tigers averaging double figures. And it's a luxury when you're DeAnthony Ellison and you're able to bring one of those players off the bench. Giles for 3, yes. Back-to-back triples and a 6-0 run for Barclay. Champions lead is cut down to 4 now. Gonzalez, rainbow shot, grazes the rim, that's all. Fight for the rebound and a jump ball called, so Champion will get it back. It's a Champion team that shoots 40%, but just 27% from behind the arc. Barclay 38% on the season, but just 25% from downtown. Fuller can't get it to go, but she's fouled and will go to the line. Yesterday, Barclay sent FLBC to the line just 6 times Barclay hit 17 of 24 from the charity stripe. Different story now as they've committed their 5th team foul, so Champion will be in the bonus over the final 2:34 this one. Fuller, 71% free throw shooter, ends that 6-0 Barclay run. Takira Fuller from Louisiana. Another freshman brought in for the first-year program champion, doubling up Barclay now at 12-6. Beyonce Johnson-Anderson goes back to the bench, and Maury Scales returns for the Bears. Jackson into the forecourt. King to Easterwood in the corner, back out to King. Champion in a zone, ball deflected. Great defense, Gilliam. Throw ahead to Manning. Manning attacks and scores. Nay Manning, 34% shooter. Money on that one. Giles on the left, guarded by Gilliam. 2-3 zone for Champion. Inside 2 to play in quarter number 1. Pass goes to Scales, too far underneath the hoop, backs it out, now looking for somebody. Giles, cross court to Jackson. Shot clock is at 6. Jackson airballs it out of bounds. So the ball will go back to Champion. More shuffling. Shea Fuselaire checking back in, and Lydia King will come out for Barclay. Nay Manning rockets it to Parsons, and it's deflected out, they say, by the Bears. So just 8 seconds off the shot clock as Gilliam inbounds. Manning surveys, looking for the cutter. Entry pass deflected. Nice defense there by Scales. Fuselaire with the steal. Scales with the deflection. Minute 15 remaining here in quarter number 1. Jackson in and out on that 3. Easterwood the putback. She got bumped, and Sarah Easterwood, the senior, the lone senior for Barclay, will go to the line, 69% free throw shooter. So winner of this game will play in the championship game. That'll be tomorrow at 3 p.m. Loser will play for 3rd place, and that will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. We'll have both of those games here on YouTube. So Easterwood gets them both. 6-point ball game. Barclay really struggled offensively in the early going, but rebounding and starting to settle down offensively. Got to get some stops on this end. Gonzalez in the corner, back to Manning. Gonzalez back out there, along with Manning and Keandria Williams, number 1 on your screen, with Parsons and also Fuller. That's the 5 for Champion as we wrap up quarter number 1. On the rebound, a foul will be called on Gonzalez. That's her first, team's 4th. So Bears with the basketball. Jackson will leave. King comes back in. King over to Scales on the near side. Giles for 3, got it to go. 3-point shooting, helping the Bears hang around. They've hit 3 3-pointers. Couple of free throws, 14-11. Shot clock and game clock off by about a second, maybe second and a half. Williams got stripped. Easterwood throws ahead. Fuselaire keeps the dribble, and Barclay trying to run some clock. Instead, King attacks. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Champion. And here Marcus Mitchell over on the other side. Last shot. King to inbound it. Scales open. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound by King, and the foul. So how about this? It was 10-0 Champion, and with 1.9 to go, Barclay can tie this here at the end of the quarter. And the free throw rims in. So we are even. Manning will let it run out. So nothing decided after 10 minutes of play. We go to quarter number 2 here in the first women's semifinal, all tied at 14 apiece. You're watching the 2020 ACCA tournament from Joplin. We'll be back in just a little bit. Congratulations to all of the women's All-Americans. We go to quarter number 2 here in our first of 2 women's semifinal games. All tied at 14. Champion led 10-zip at the start. A 14-4 run to wrap the quarter for Barclay, thanks in part to three-point shooting. 3 3-pointers in that first quarter. Easterwood can't get it to go. Fuller the box out and rebound. Into the forecourt, Manning. Parsons over to Gonzalez on the left. Fuller back out to Manning. Extra pass. Gonzalez for 3. Can't get it to go. The three-pointer's just not falling right now for the Tigers. Barclay chance to take its first lead of the ball game here just underway in the second quarter. Giles throws it away, though. Fuller with the steal. Here comes Manning into the forecourt. Parsons, mid-range shot. And the box out by Giles and rebound. So Bears with the ball. Just about a minute in. First foul of this second quarter belongs to Champions Williams. Gibson has also come in for Champion. Back door open for Barclay, and they have their first lead of the afternoon. Easterwood connecting. Sarah Easterwood, 9.8 points per ball game, double-double threat as well. Catch and shoot 3. Gibson way off. We'll call that a pass to Manning, who cleans up on the boards. That was Williams, my apologies. So Keandria with her first 2. Jackson shuffled her feet there. Turnover will give the ball back to the Tigers. All tied at 16 apiece. Champion, another sub. I have a number 3 in that I do not have on my roster, so. Williams throws it out to Manning. Now Gonzalez, corner 3. Still can't get one for Champion. Yeah, there's no number 3 on the roster. If you're a Champion fan and you're watching on YouTube and you've got any clue who number 3 is, be a big help. Give me a shout on the YouTube chat. Jackson rims in another 3. Barclay, 4 3-pointers. So 12 of their 19 coming from behind the arc here in the early stages. Gibson. Pass goes out of bounds. Caitlin Gibson is out there, junior from Cedarville, Arkansas. Just her 12th game of the season. Manning directing traffic over to our mystery person on the left. Shot no good. Fusilier the rebound. Bears sky it to Melton, and Melton trouble with the pass. Williams out. Coming back in is Geraldine Hardy. Champion Christian. Manning's running the show. 5 times with at least 11 assists in a ball game for Manning this year. The floor general. That's is going to send our mystery woman to the line. The only other person I have on the roster, it could be Crystal Zapata or it could be Brianna Davis. The scoring folks across the screen from us here might give us some indication. First foul for Barclay, second on Easterwood. She'll go to the bench. So first free throw is good. Beyonce Johnson-Anderson for Barclay back out there. And Champion cuts the deficit down to 1, 19-18. 3 minutes into quarter number 2. Fusilier on the court with Jackson, Scales, Anderson, and Melton. That's the 5 right now for the Bears. Scales looking to drive. Trying to drive on Gonzalez. Scales. And she got bailed out with the whistle after she was stripped, but contact and free throws to come. Gibson picking up the foul. Maury Scales, 56% free throw shooter during the regular season. Scales 3 of 5 yesterday from the charity stripe. Scales off the back iron on that one. 2 team fouls on Champion, 1 on Barclay here in the early going of quarter number 2. First foul called on Gibson, I believe. That's who's signaled right now. Might have a lane violation here. So Scales is going to get another opportunity. So the third time opportunity, no good, and a rebound by Gilliam. Manning, corner 3, off the back iron. Hardy, the putback no good, but Hardy will go to the free throw line. Melton picking up the foul. Now both teams with 2 team fouls. Champion chance to go back on top here. Geraldine Hardy, 63% free throw shooter on the season. Ties us at 19. Barclay winning the opening round game against Free Lutheran, coming off a Southwest Regional loss to Randall by 12. Put back no good. And Scales collects for the Bears. Bears finished 4th in the MCCC, that conference. Lost in the 3rd place game to Central Christian. First year in this ACCA national tournament for both of these teams. Champion Christian in its first year. They won their opening round game in the Southwest region against Kansas, 66-37. Then in the semis, beat Dallas by 17. Lost to Arlington by 14. And if they're able to, and both teams able to advance, it would be the 4th meeting, I believe, for Champion and Arlington this year. Jackson for 3. Had the hot hand in the first quarter. And Johnson Anderson with the putback. She's fouled and will go to the line as the whistles start to come yet again. So Johnson Anderson at the line. She was just 4 of 15 during the season. And I mentioned it yesterday as she misses the first one. She went 3 of 3 yesterday, so I'm thinking that those numbers were probably not correct. But that's what they gave me, so that's what I wrote down. Chance to put her team back on top. Missed them both. Trying to chase down the rebound, same team, and it comes to King in the corner. So extra possession, and now a throwaway. It's a steal by Champion, and a nice job by the Bears sprinting back. Tigers looking to push there. Instead, they got to set it up, but good defense nonetheless. Hardy in the lane, can't get it to go. Rebound controlled by King, and we got another timeout. We will step aside nearing the midway point of quarter number 2, all tied in a low-scoring affair at 19. Welcome back to Joplin and Ozark Christian College. Chris Sheeman here with you. We are underway here in the semifinals today. 4 semis and 1 consolation game here at Ozark, and a block and foul called on Champion as Barclay running and gunning out of the timeout. King will go to the line. Lydia King, 64% free throw shooter during the regular season. And first free throws here in the tournament. King had 4 points off the bench in 25 minutes yesterday, putting her team back up by 1. 5 team fouls now on Champion, so Barclay will be shooting free throws over the final 5:40 of this one. The Bears have just 2 team fouls. Bears lead by 2. It started 10-0 in favor of Champion if you're just joining us. Tigers led 10-0. 14-4 run to end the first quarter for Barclay. Had us tied at 14, and we've been nip and tuck ever since then. Gilliam. Here's Manning to the cutter. Hardy. Gilliam back to Manning. Fakes the 3. Baseline shot with the shot clock winding down. No good. Put back is good. And that is Brianna Davis. So my guess was correct. Brianna Davis is number 3. So Davis from Lufkin, Texas, another freshman, tying the ball game. Now Champion gets a stop. Here's Manning into the forecourt to Davis on the left. Bounce pass for Gilliam was off the mark, but able to save it. Now her pass off the mark, and it's a steal by Jackson. Jackson one-on-one, and she scores. Nice job by Barclay to work themselves back in it. Started awfully on the offensive end, stuck with it. Davis for 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Scales. Jamia Jackson Ninth in steals, third in scoring in the ACCA. Pops another three and hits. It's her third three-pointer, and Barclay with its biggest lead at 5, 26-21. Gilliam into the forecourt. Manning will set it up. Bears in a zone. Looking in for Gonzalez. Triple teamed, got it out to Hardy. Couldn't get the runner. Fusilier the board. Fusilier. Here's Scales. 3:35 remaining until halftime. King looking to drive. Bounce passes it out. Alexis Gloud into the game, and she draws a foul. I believe it's going on Gonzalez. So Alexis Gloud on for the first time, junior. Gonzalez does pick up the foul. So Gloud, who was 5 of 11 from the charity stripe during the regular season, goes to the line. Gloud was 2 of 2 in the opening round victory over FLBC. And she stays perfect here in the tournament. 27-11 since that 10-0 start for Champion. Barclay has smoked them ever since that. 17-point difference and a 7-point lead. Carried the basketball, did Giles, so Champion will turn it over. And they're in a funk right now. Timeout. DeAnthony Ellison wants to talk about it. We will step aside with 3:21 left to go here in the half. Well, folks, if you don't have professional commentary on your live streams, I can help you out wherever you're located. That's right. Remote live streaming is available. It's good for smaller schools that don't have maybe the resources in their area. Talking about you, Barclay and Haviland, Kansas. Love to work with anybody who's interested, and you can go to my website and contact me for more. Boy, Jackson has had an outstanding game for the Bears. Really stepping up. Jamia Jackson, just a freshman, third in scoring in the ACCA at 18.6. She might be at 18 already. Champion out of the timeout, making some subs. It's Manning, Gilliam, Fuller, Gonzalez, and Parsons, the 5 on the floors. Fuller misses twice. Scales and Gloud alongside King, Fusilier, and Jackson. That's the 5 for Barclay. King looking to drive, throws it up and called for the offensive foul. 13 foul on the Bears. This is an important 2:24 for Champion, trying to regroup offensively after that good start. And almost a turnover there, I believe. Yeah, Fusilier touched it last, so we'll stay on this side. But Barclay's defense has stepped up too. Let's give them credit. Scales out. Anderson back in. Inbound goes to Fuller. Just can't get the roll. Fuller tried to follow the shot. Now it's off the foot of Anderson out of bounds. So we will stay on this side of the court. Normally a good shooting team, Champion. Barclay's second in scoring at 70 a game. Champion third at 67.8. Of course, defense steps up in tournament action. Gonzalez can't get it to go, so lower scores are expected, but right now, Tigers have just 21 points. Inside 2 to go here in this opening half. King. Jackson has had the hot hand, had it poked away, able to recover, throws it up, can't get it to go. Fuller the rebound. Here come the Tigers looking to push. Gilliam skies it to Manning in the forecourt. Manning using the baseline, blocked but fouled by Gloud. Gloud picking up her first, goes to the bench. Coming back in for Marcus Mitchell is Maya Giles. 2 shots for Nate Manning. 8.3 assists per ball game, leading the ACCA, leading in steals, 8th in scoring, 67% free throw shooter. Nate Manning played for Jacksonville College, junior college in Texas, from Brownsboro, Texas, the junior. Nice addition to Anthony Ellison, as I mentioned, recruiting at the JUCO level, bringing in some veteran leadership for this first-year program. Things looking good basketball-wise in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Both champion teams with an opportunity to win championships here in the ACCA. Nice move by Jackson. And how about this turnaround? It's now a 21-point turnaround. Gonzalez for 3. Needed that one. Got it to go. Dagger for Destiny Gonzalez, 39% three-point shooter and the leading scorer in the association. Fuselaire. Let's go inside. 1 minute to go. Gets it over to Giles. And we have a traveling call, so Barclay will turn it over. 54 seconds left to go here in this half. Champion trying to make a late half push. Manning gets it to Gonzalez. Corner 3, missed it long. Parsons trying to get the offensive rebound, and it's deflected off the Bears. Giles will inbound it. Gonzalez from the elbow. That was Gilliam on the inbound, by the way, and we got a foul underneath. Both teams now with 5 team fouls, so free throws to come for Manning. Nate Manning missed a couple earlier, 67% on the year. Swishes in that first one. (32-26). Now as both free throws are good, so the lead that was 11 down to 6 now. Important possession here for Barclay. Giles hoists an air ball. Fuller the rebound. And we got another foul. Maya Giles called on the reach, so more free throws at the other end. This time, Janiyah Gilliam. I mentioned struggling from the free throw line, just 32% on the season. Good on that one, though. So the shot clock will be off for Barclay. If they want to, they can hold it. I've yet to see a team do that in the tournament, though. Offensive rebound and the putback by Gonzalez is good, and just like that, an 8-0 champion run to close the half. Barclay would be well advised to run some clock. Instead, they attack and throw up a wild shot. That's a bad possession. Gonzalez to Fuller. Fuller stripped. Good defense there, but Fuller stays with it. 3 seconds to go. Here's Manning at the buzzer. Can't get it, but a good close to the half for Champion on an 8-0 run. However, Barclay wins the first 20. 32-29 after one half of play. You're watching the 2020 ACCA Women's Semifinals. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with the first half stats and second half play-by-play. Don't go too far. Underway here in quarter number 3 with Champion possessing first. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you. It's Barclay, the 3 seed, leading the 2 seed Champion Christian, 32-29. First half shooting, a good first half if you're a Bears fan. 40% shooting, out shooting Champion 40-23%. Holding the Tigers under 25% shooting is no easy task given all the offensive weapons they have, but credit the Bears defense, they did just that. Leading scorer in the first half, Jamia Jackson had 15 points on 6 of 11 shooting, 3 of 7 from behind the arc. 6 points for Giles, 5 for King, and 4 for Sarah Easterwood. Leading scorer in the game for Champion, Destiny Gonzalez now has 9 points as you see her make that bucket. 9 points, 5 rebounds for Destiny. 5 points for Hardy. 4 points and 3 assists for Manning. And let's see who else. 4 points as well for Brianna Davis. Those are your leading scorers at the half. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you. 9:11 left to go. Here, just underway here in this second half. Winner of this game will play either Champion or Ozark, likely Champion in the championship game. Or, excuse me, Arlington or Ozark, likely Arlington. And the loser of this game will play for third place to start the day tomorrow at 11 a.m. Ball went out of bounds there, so Barclay will get it back. If you're just joining us, Champion had a good start. They led 10-0. It was a 21-point turnaround. At one point, Barclay led in the second quarter by 11. As the Bears draw a foul, that's going to send Jamia Jackson back to the line. Nay Manning picking up her second, team second already here in the first minute and change. Jamia Jackson, first free throws of the game. Good on that first one. Jackson shoots 56% from the free throw line. Got to correct the score on your screen. 33-31 is the correct score in favor of the Bears. So 33-31. Now Champion with the basketball, chance to tie or take the lead. Parsons top of the key, pass deflected. Great defense by Melton. Throw ahead goes to Fusilier, and she'll back it out. Smart play. We've seen Barclay do a lot of smart things here in this ball game. Just help them hang around. And out to this lead. Melton. Shot clock is down to 9. Scales top of the key. Shot clock at 7. Scales throws it up. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Hardy. Throw ahead goes to Gilliam. And Gilliam is bumped by Fusilier. It'll be the first foul of quarter number 3 for Barclay.
Fouls on Barclay, number 4, Shane Fusilier, her second foul. Team's first.
Second on Fusilier. So Gonzalez will inbound it right to the hoop. Gonzalez Manning top of the key. Gonzalez in the lane. Turnaround shot goes in and out. Offensive rebound by Gilliam. Good offensive rebounding team. Champion. They had 15 offensive rebounds in the first half, but their shooting just, they can't get it going. So up to 16 offensive rebounds. Champion overall rebounding just +2, but crashing the offensive glass as they're accustomed to doing. Scales falls down, no whistle. Manning sprints down the court. So does the defense. Gonzalez tied up and a jump ball called. Will stay on this end of the floor. Gilliam to inbound it. Gonzalez Manning now. Parsons corner three. Off the back iron, the three is just not falling. 1 of 18 in the first half for Champion behind the arc. Just 1 of 5 Destiny Gonzalez hit the 1 3-pointer, but if you're Champion, you got to recognize and attack the basket. Easterwood, yes. We saw it in the men's quarterfinal yesterday for Rama that threes weren't falling, and they just kept at it, and it was kind of like the Houston Rockets. They're doing it no matter what happens. Try a mid-range jumper here. Hardy off the back of the rim. Manning the rebound. Manning steps left. Short on that shot. Rebound fought for and won by Scales. No, wait a minute. Might get her on a foul. I didn't see a foul called, but possible travel. So either way, it's going to be Tigers basketball. Gonzalez swings it out. Parsons throws it up, draws the foul. So Lucy Parsons, a freshman from Denton, Texas, 58% free throw shooter, goes to the line. Parsons just 2 points so far this afternoon. Our next women's semifinal will be at 5:45, all times approximate. We were way behind yesterday by about an hour. And then the women's championship game is Saturday at 3. The women's third place game is Saturday at 11. So 1 out of 2 at the line. Rebound controlled by the Bears. Full court press is on. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout. So the Bears will talk about the press. 6:21 left to go here in quarter number 3. We'll be back in just a moment. Need a video highlight for a banquet or maybe just to add to your personal collection, you can contact me there. Love to help you out with that. Chris Sheeman back here with you, 35-32. Bears with a 3-point advantage and navigating now a full court press. Barclay calling timeout to set up a play here. Jackson will inbound it. Scales, triple team. Fusilier in the forecourt. Over to Melton for 3. Bounces up and in, and that's the kind of afternoon it's been for the Bears here today. Everything going their way on the offensive glass. Manning throws a rocket to Parsons. Open look. And the shots just are not going down. Champion frustrated offensively. Jackson, pull up from the free throw line off the back iron. Tip for the rebound, and we're going to keep it on this side of the court. Nope, correction. They call Johnson Anderson on the foul. Another sub in, Gloud for Barclay. Gloud in the backcourt with Jackson, Johnson Anderson, Scales, and King. That's the 5 on the floor. Parsons gets one to go. It's her first 3-pointer in 6 tries. And, you know, for all of the doom and gloom that you've been hearing me spew about Champion, they're down just 3 points. This is, if they can figure out this offensive side of things, they're going to be just fine. Barclay touched it last, so they get a turnover here, nearing the midway point of quarter number 3. Into the forecourt. Gilliam. Parsons back to her. Gilliam attacks, throws it up, draws a foul. So that's going to be 4 fouls on the Bears. Jackson picking up her 3rd foul, too. So the team's leading scorer has to go to the bench now, and these will be important minutes now for Champion to try to get back into the lead. 2 free throws for Gilliam. Swishes in the first one. Chance to make it a 1-point game. Gilliam 4 of 5 from the free throw line so far this afternoon. So 1 out of 2 for Gilliam. Ball batted out, last touch by Champion. Oh no, they say last touch by the Bears. Boy, that's a tough call. It'll be Tigers basketball though. Extra possession for Champion. Deflected by Scales. So we'll do it again. A little easier angle for the inbound this time. Manning to Gonzalez. Gonzalez over a double team, gets it back out. Swung to Manning. Manning underneath. Backdoor was open. Fuller got it to go, and we are tied at 38. Smart play by Manning, who's a smart point guard for Champion. Saw all the eyes were coming to Gonzalez after she touched the ball on the right block. So the eyes were drawn already on her. Got it to Fuller instead, and now Barclay answers right back. So a nip and tuck semifinal game, 4:27 to go here in quarter number 3. Parsons short on the rainbow, and a frustration foul. So King is fouled. That'll be 3 on Champion. Manning picking up her 3rd foul. Looks like for now, DeAnthony Ellison will stick with her, though. Into the forecourt, Scales. Scales right around the defense. Gets it to roll in. So back-to-back buckets for the Bears. Increases their lead out to 4. Giles and Gilliam, into the forecourt. Blocking foul is called. This whole tournament, and I was talking to one of the other women's coaches, and they said it's the nature of the Midwest that they call a lot more contact. I'm used to being in the South where they let you play down there. But the whole tournament, they have not let anything slide. It's all textbook from the officials. Gilliam, good on that free throw. So that's 5 on Barclay. Got them both. 2-point game, 42-40. Gloud into the game. So a couple subs as Jackson went to the bench with foul trouble. Gloud, ball deflected. You can go in the backcourt. Fusilier, though, saves it in the front court. So Fusilier, Gloud, King, Easterwood, and Melton, the 5 for Barclay. Into Easterwood, using her size to, see what I mean, draw another foul. I would not blow the whistle there on Parsons. She was falling back, getting out of the way, and what are you going to do? You'll take it if you're a Barclay fan, though, as Easterwood goes back to the line. It's all about who initiates contact there. Easterwood, no good on that first one. So both teams will be in the bonus over the final 3:43. Easterwood 1 out of 2, 3-point ball game. Gilliam into the forecourt for the Tigers. Ball deflected out, last touched by King. Pass intended for Parsons, and now Parsons will inbound it. 8 seconds off the shot clock. Parsons up top. Cross court to Manning. Entry pass deflected. Great defense by the senior Easterwood. Gloud throws it to King. King lays it up and in. Well, some of the folks who made the trip to watch Barclay standing up and cheering as they have a 5-point lead. Here's Parsons. Can't get that to go. Gonzalez, the offensive rebound. 17 or 18 now offensive rebounds for Champion. Gonzalez off on the three. Another offensive rebound for Parsons. Fuller throws it up. No, and again, fourth time can't get a bucket. And Champion doing all the little things right, but they just can't make consistent shots. Finally, Barclay able to get a defensive rebound. King, Melton looking for Easterwood. Take away. Parsons with the steal. Good defense there. Manning throws it under. Gonzalez draws the foul. No shot. But both teams are in the bonus. In for the Tigers is Brianna Davis. Destiny Gonzalez, 66% free throw shooter. Gonzalez from Las Vegas. Played at Arizona Western before continuing her collegiate career here at Champion. Helping this first-year program out to a 18-win season. 18-8 for Champion coming into play today. 12-10 for Barclay. King into the forecourt now for the Bears. Gloud, she'll eye a three. Airballed it. Manning looking to push. She's got two players running. Gilliam waited for the defender and got the turnaround shot. Smart play there by Gilliam. Waiting for the defender who flew in for the steal. Patient offense. And now another steal. Manning, she's got a wide open bucket. Got it to go. Champion back up by 1. 6-0 run for the Tigers. Here's Easterwood. Easterwood right around the defense, and Barclay reclaims the lead. The Bears by 1. Up and down we go to close quarter number 3. Gilliam, Gonzalez in the corner. Fuller back out. Gilliam tied up. It's going to be a jump ball. Will stay on this side of the court, though. They're going to roll the dice. Jamia Jackson in some foul trouble coming back in, as is Scales for Barclay. And out there for Champion for the first time, it's Chloe Capacey. 1:18 left to go. Still Champion basketball. Gilliam to inbound, 14 on the shot clock. Gonzalez, yes. Back and forth we go. Now Champion up by 1. Melton to Jackson. Jackson goes around the defense and draws a foul. So Jackson will go to the line. Fuller's going to come out after picking up her 4th foul. Hardy returns for the Tigers. First free throw is short. And you see the frustration for Jackson. Try to salvage the trip and tie the ball game. Even Steven, 48 all. As we go inside 1 minute to play here in this third quarter, this first of 2 women's semifinal games. Here's Davis attacking. Air ball. Ball tipped out. Capacey the rebound. Capacey doubled up, and did we get a timeout called? I didn't see anybody signal for a timeout, so I'm not sure what happened there. They love blowing whistles so much here in Joplin that they just blow them for no reason. Davis is bumped. So a little over-aggressive there for the Bears. King picking up her third. A lot of players in foul trouble here in this tightly called tournament. Davis, 6 of 10 during the season from the free throw line, gets the first one to go to put Champion up by 1. And now 2. Easterwood will check back in. Lydia King goes to the bench. Let me correct myself. That's more Summer Melton going to the bench. Easterwood out on the wing. Throws it too high for Gloud, and that's going to go out of bounds. Ball will go back to Champion. Champion leading by 2. Capacey comes out. Manning checks back in. Shot clock is off, so Champion will, we think at least, hold for the final shot. And they seem content to do just that. Gilliam out near midcourt, so Champion has fought their way back. A tough shooting afternoon for the Tigers, but they still have the lead. Manning to Gonzalez. In the corner, the 3 is good. Champion biggest lead of the second half. Now King had her shot blocked, and 3 quarters in the books. So the Tigers by 5, 53-48. 10 minutes to go to decide our first semifinal. The 2 seed leading the 3 seed after 30 minutes of play. We'll be back with quarter number 4 in just a moment. On to the fourth quarter we go. Chris Sheeman glad to be back with you, and credit the Tigers. They are not having a great shooting day, as I've mentioned, but they are continuing to fight, doing other things, forcing turnovers, crashing the glass. All the little things are going their way right now. So underway here in quarter number 4, it'll be Bears with the basketball. Jackson for 3, had the hot hand in the first half. Now Manning pushing into the forecourt. Manning gets it over to Hardy. Hardy can't get the jumper, scales the rebound for Barclay. Winner of this game to the championship game, as Scales is blocked but fouled by Gonzalez. Championship game at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Loser goes to the third place game. That will start our day at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Maury Scales at the line, 56% on the season. We started the tournament with a lot of blowouts. And I encouraged some of the folks who were groaning a little bit online about it to stick around. And we've had now, I think, 3 or 4 games in a row that have been nip and tuck. Catch and shoot 3 by Manning, no good, but the putback is for Davis. Well, if Champion advances, it's going to be courtesy of the offensive glass. Second chance opportunities today for the Tigers are off the charts. It's a team that averaged about 14 offensive rebounds a game. They had at halftime 15. Easterwood, baseline shot, no. Tip for the rebound. Barclay trying to crash the glass instead. It's Davis. Manning scoops it to Gonzalez for 3. Hit one earlier from that spot. Gloud had position on the rebound, so a foul called here on Champion. Davis picking up her third. Just about everybody has at least 3 fouls who sees regular playing time. Second team foul on Champion as well here. Not yet 90 seconds into quarter number 4. Look at Jackson go. How about that? Jackson all the way to the hoop. No resistance defensively. Gonzalez in the corner. Gilliam back to her. Now Manning. Manning throws it up short, followed the miss. Gilliam scoops it. Here's Hardy. Yes, in the lane. Champion leads by 5 now. Jackson into the forecourt. Melton to Easterwood. Easterwood over Gonzalez. Couldn't get it to go. Ball batted to the near side, and Barclay will get an extra possession here. Easterwood out. Beyonce Johnson-Anderson returns. The reverse, nicely done by Jackson. Jamia Jackson with a strong play there.
Fouls on Barclay, number 4, Shea Fuselier. That's her third personal, first team.
First foul of the quarter. Champion pass deflected. It's not out of bounds yet, but saved by Davis. Davis throws it up, can't get it to go. Tip for the rebound, comes to Davis. Davis put back, yes. Jackson cross-court Fuselier. Over to Melton. Melton for 3 off the back of the rim. Gonzalez had it deflected. Well, they say she touched it last. Well, apparently the YouTube chat wasn't working, so Tishana, I believe, and all of the folks who were trying to help me out earlier in the game, appreciate you. I just saw it now. Jackson for 3. And that's a deflection, they say. Gilliam. Oh, now they're going to change it. Yeah, that's, I think, the right call. I didn't see a deflection there. Gilliam touched it last, so Bears will retain possession here. 6:47 to go, 5-point game, and we're going to get a timeout. We'll step aside, 30-second timeout. We're coming back here in just a moment. So Bears will keep it. 20 on the shot clock, 6:47 to go in the ball game. Scales throws it up, can't get the roll. Gonzalez with the rebound, and here come the Tigers. Gonzalez to Gilliam. Now Davis, blocked. Scales takes it away. 5-point game here in the first semifinal. Melton attacks. No foul. Interesting given everything else. Manning. Manning will take the mid-range jumper, rim it in. So Champion now with its biggest lead here in the second half. They led by 10. It was 10-zip to start the first quarter. 21-point turnaround in that first half at one point. Now a backcourt violation. Got to go get the ball. The ball rolls into the backcourt. Now Manning's going to pick it up. Underneath it's Gonzalez who's blocked but fouled. But you never want to just let the ball roll. Take the turnover, make them inbound it. Keandria Williams coming in. And Davis is out. Easterwood back out there. So Easterwood, Scales, Jackson, King, and Melton. That's the 5 for Barclay right now. It's Gonzalez, Hardy, Manning, Gilliam, and Williams for Champion. Gonzalez trying to salvage the trip, increase the biggest lead of the second half for Champion, and missed them both. Rebound controlled by Scales. Jackson back to Scales. Here's Easterwood going to work, swings it out. Melton fakes the 3, attacks and scores, plus the foul. Summer Melton at 61% from the free throw line during the regular season. Gonzalez picks up her 4th foul. So the top scorer in the ACCA has to go to the bench nearing the midway point of this 4th quarter due to foul trouble. Takira Fuller coming back in. 3-point play complete. 4-point game. 61-57. Manning. Williams back to her. Now Hardy from the free throw line. No. Offensive rebound. Fought for, and Scales able to gather. And it looks like she's going to be fouled, so no tie up there. Second on Hardy. 4 team fouls now on Champion. So Barclay will be in the bonus over the final 5 minutes. Easterwood doubled up. Doesn't matter, using that size, and it's a 2-point game. So if you're the Bears, got to make a run here with Gonzalez on the bench. She hasn't had her best shooting game of the year by a long stretch, but still, you lose the team's leading scorer, got to make a push. Manning tries to get it to go. Offensive rebound fought for by Hardy, but goes out of bounds off her. Parsons will come back in. Gilliam goes to the bench. Jackson now into the front court, facing the 2-3 zone. Scales over to Melton. In the lane, it's King, lost it. Parsons is going to get there. Williams, now Manning. 2-3 zone. Manning takes it to the far side of the screen. Oh, nice pass to Fuller. Lulled the defense to sleep. Fuller couldn't get the bucket, though. Scales attacks. Scales. And, yeah, that's an offensive foul. Good call there by the officials. She was out of control. And a nice job by Champion, the defense taking the charge there. The officials talking about it. We're going to get a sub here, Champion. They're going to bring in Gonzalez, so she's got to be careful, but what do you do if you're D'Anthony Ellison? You got to have her out there in this final 4 minutes. Roll the dice. She's a smart player. Trust your student athletes. That's what Ellison is doing right now. Manning over to Parsons in the corner. Gonzalez fell down. So they pause for a second to gather. Now it's Parsons for three. Yes! Parsons, her second three-pointer here in the half. 64-59. The 2 seed over the 3 seed. Melton to Easterwood. Easterwood, yeah. And smart play by Barclay. You got to go to Easterwood. Gonzalez, all she can do is kind of stand there. She can't be too aggressive and risk a foul call. As I mentioned, there's little room for error out there defensively. Williams, cross court to Parsons. Bounce pass to Manning. Parsons lost it. Getting there was Hardy. Hardy back to Parsons. Shot clock at 4. Parsons in and out on the 3. Oh, I thought that was going down. Scales looking to push. Now Melton. Melton lost the dribble, but Scales is there. And we're going to get a timeout for the Bears. Marcus Mitchell wants to settle down the troops. We will step aside. 1 possession game here in the semifinals. 2:48 to go. (64-61). Champion with the lead. Barclay with the basketball. 2:48 remaining in the contest. First of 2 semifinals on the ladies' side. We'll have Arlington and Ozark later on tonight at 5:45. Winner of this game plays the winner of that one. Put back by King after the Jackson miss. No, Jackson got it to go. Counted in the foul. Jamia Jackson with a chance for an old school 3-point play, and she can tie us at 64. That's 5 team fouls, by the way, on Champion. Gonzalez will come back into the game for the Tigers. Williams goes to the bench. Big free throw here. Missed it. Nobody going for the rebounds. Finally, Parsons gets there. So here's Manning into the forecourt. The floor general surveys. 2:22 remaining. 1-point game. Here's Gonzalez for 3. An air ball. Rebound by Scales. Scales looking to push. Scales with numbers. Scales fouled. Manning wants a tie-up call, but not enough there. Wait a minute. Did they call traveling? I think they called traveling before the foul, so my apologies. Barclay turns it over, which I do believe was the correct call, by the way. Still tough. It's tough no matter how that was going to go. Nail-biter kind of a game. Manning couldn't get it, and Fuller is fouled underneath. Minute 49 remaining. That's just the fourth on Barclay, so no free throws yet. Manning the inbound. Ball deflected. Good defense. But then Barclay gives it right back. Here's Gonzalez to Manning. Gonzalez steps right. Thought about the three against the zone. Cross court, it goes to Parsons. She'll shoot the three. Missed it long. Rebound by Melton for Barclay. 1 point ball game. Minute 27 to go. Jackson throws it up short. Easterwood tried for the rebound, and it's last touch by the Tigers. It's been a wild nip and tuck kind of game, especially in the second half. King with the inbound. Scales throws it up. Scales is fouled. That's Hardy with 3. Scales 56% free throw shooter. Ties us at 64. And will remain tied. So 1 out of 2. Parsons the board. Here comes Champion. Nearing 1 minute to go. Manning over to Hardy. Manning and Hardy playing hot potato with it. Manning thought about the 3. Shot clock, meanwhile, is down to 9 now. Manning's got to create something. The give and go with Fuller. Fuller lost the dribble. Ball batted out. Parsons has to throw it up, an air ball. So Barclay with 48.4 on the clock with a chance to take the lead. Fuller comes out. Gilliam comes back in. Jackson had the hot hand in the first half. They've done well against Gonzalez underneath with Easterwood. Remember, Gonzalez has 4 fouls, and now Barclay turns it over. So an anticlimactic possession there for Barclay. They will get it back no matter what, though. Remember, you can advance the ball in the women's game with the timeout. Gilliam into the forecourt, and now Champion wants to talk it over. We will step aside, even at 64, coming down to the wire here in the women's semifinals. So we've got 4.8 is the difference game and shot clock. And as I mentioned before the timeout, remember in the women's game you can advance the ball, which is a great rule, by the way. The men's side of things, they need to get it together with both quarters and advancing the ball. So Champion with the basketball. Manning will run some clock here. Shot clock at 15. Don't want to run too much, though. Manning gets a screen. Manning swings it out. Fuller, yes! Wow, big bucket, and Mae Manning with the assist. Now Manning with the steal, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. Barclay called timeout first. Barclay called timeout first, so they'll advance the ball, a chance to tie it or win it with 10.1 seconds. We'll be back here in just a moment. Well, you can't ask for much better out of a women's semifinal game than this. Barclay with a chance to tie it or win it. They will advance the ball. Chris Sheeman back here with you. Possession arrow favors Champion. Both teams are in the bonus. And for Barclay, the Bears will have King inbounding. Got it to Jackson. Jackson to Easterwood. Easterwood can't get it to go. Tip for the rebound. Gilliam has it for Champion. Gets it out to Manning, but I think before the pass she got fouled, and fouled hard, by the way. Gilliam looks like she's okay, so 2.8 seconds. And again, remembering you can advance the ball. These two free throws are big here. Gilliam was 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. So 3 of 4 from the charity stripe in the first half. Does it depend on if Barclay has a timeout, but I do believe each team has at least one remaining. It's a moot point if Gilliam can hit both of these, though. Rims in the first one. Ice in her veins. 67-64. Got them both. Now all Champion has to do is get out of the way. Jackson will throw it up, and Champion will move on as they survive a tough Barclay Bears team, 68-64. So the Tigers, the 2 seed, in their first year will play for a national championship. How about that? How about this DeAnthony Ellison, by the way, as well? Got his ladies balling, folks. So Champion moves to the championship game, and they'll take on either Arlington or Ozark. And let's be real, likely Arlington, but you never know. That's why they play the games. That'll be at 3 p.m. on Saturday. Meanwhile, Barclay, still a lot to play for. They will take on either Ozark, capital O on that, or Arlington in the third place game, and that will be Saturday at 11. We got to go. We go to the men's consolation bracket coming up next. It's Rhema and FLBC coming up in about 15 minutes here on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Once again, your final score in our first women's semifinal. Champion survives 68-64. We'll be back in about 15 minutes with our next game. Thanks for watching.